So, and the famous phrase, what if we train them and they leave? Well, what if we don't and they stay? So, and I don't want that. So,
I'm not going to speak to law enforcement, but I can speak to several organizations that I've seen that have taken that to heart. Of, hey, let's not train them so they don't have any choice but to stay here. And oh dear God, right? So one of the things I'd like for you to talk about, kind of as the last question I'll ask you before I just leave it open ended for you, is talk about some of the things that you do in the community. You've mentioned a few, but what do you do to really engage the local community? What kind of ways are you looking to make the community better? What are you, because I've heard you openly use the term community policing, and it's a super positive thing.
yeah, community policing is like some of the things we do to try to influence that is just public events. We just recently, the beginning of August, we had National Night Out. And that's a national event, but that gets us out in the community, speaking to families, to kids, to parents, to any community member on a positive note when they interact with us. Because if they see only law enforcement in uniform under crazy emergency situation or getting pulled over or negative event after negative event after negative event, then that's all they think. And it's a it can be a trigger in people's minds of like, oh, police, and then have a bad experience. So we try to do some positive events, coffee with a cop, popcorn with the police, just anything to get us out. We actually have an event next week. Actually, that's this week. Of We're gonna have some lemonade and coffee out at our local Southern States gas station during the day and during a busy time, and just talking with citizens, talking with their customers, offering some free drinks, and just hear them out. And we actually get a lot of good information then as well, like problems somebody might be having in their neighborhood or so forth, but they don't want to bother us with a call, but they'll they see us and they'll stop and tell us about something going on. It's like, oh, okay, thanks for that, we can definitely take care of that, or whatnot. So just that positive interaction in the community, and doing all that we can just to have a good presence with our community members.
Yeah, I mean, I take it for granted too often because, like I say, I grew up around it. A lot of with my dad's best friend being law enforcement, and a lot of his friends being law enforcement. It just was natural for me. I had those relationships, but I take it for granted that not everybody has that comfort level. And I love seeing what you guys do to make sure people feel really comfortable about, hey, man, we're doing our jobs. We're here to help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
With all this said, we've had a great conversation. I really appreciate you taking the time to do it. What's a final thought that you'd like to leave folks with so they know here's who Chief Read is and here's the goal that he got, or whatever that may be? What final thoughts you'd like to share?
You know, I I think that just I've always it's just amazing that I'm in the position I am in now, because I was just a young kid, country boy that just grew up in way out in the woods, and that was pretty much me. And I looked up to like hearing stories about my grandfather and just just looking up to great leaders as I grew up, and just wanted to be just like them. And I'm just a kid with dreams like anybody else. So I think I've I've tried to make something of myself, but I've still got a long way to go.
And Phil, I absolutely love that. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that Cindy and I aren't thankful for the relationships that we've got today. Because same deal, country boy, dumb as a stump, blah blah blah. I could go on for days about that, but I look around and think about, and you included in that group. I think about the relationships, the people that we get to consider friends today, and I'm thinking, dear God, this is pretty neat that we get to do some of the things we do now. Here's the challenge that I think that puts on us. We got to pay it forward. How do we use that, the blessings that we've had, to make sure that other people can be better because we've had those blessings? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Really appreciate you taking the time to share with me here today. And for those of you listening, thanks for listening to the Leading at the Next Level podcast with Dove Development Consulting. Appreciate that we had this opportunity with Phillip to learn about what he's doing in Bridgewater and just kind of keep a finger on the pulse of where he's going from here. Now, if this particular session was not approved for continuing education credits, but if you need continuing education credits specifically in the human resources community, send me an email at admin@dove-development.net, and I'll hook you up with a coupon code that you can get complimentary access to a 45-day all access pass to our full Leading at the Next Level program. I think we've got north of 150 hours worth of lessons in there, each individual lesson approved for credit through SHRM and HRCI.